Now, she's not deathly allergic to bee stings, but she was driving, leaving the office there, so she went to that area, the thing in the neighborhood, we call it a dock in the box, what do you call it? Urgent care. She went to urgent care in the neighborhood and got treated for that bee sting. Well, the point behind this story is, do you think when her husband wheeled her into the emergency room at midnight, unconscious, those emergency room physicians had any idea of all the medication that was in her system in a 24-hour period? There's no way. And that, folks, is what a community-based healthcare information network is all about. The entire community sits on a common data structure, a common database, so that any time, especially when your life depends on it, that information can be extracted so that the emergency room doctors know exactly what to do, as well as the folks over at the urgent care to treat you. And she went on with the presentation. Now, do you think if I left this on the conference room table after the presentation, that they would be able to understand what it is that we're going to do for them? What's this location? What about this? What's this? It's a red Lego. That's the power of this. That's the power. Your message begins to live inside the prop so that you've simplified it so much that they get it without effort. That's something very important for you to understand. People don't want to have to work hard to understand things. And the more intelligent, the more engineering focused, the more people say, oh, these are a smart group. Well, they're going to get it quicker. So you don't need to make it even more difficult. Simple Lego. You guys have seen something like this before. Anybody ever seen a prop used in a presentation?
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing with the power, well, I'm sorry, with the what ifs. It can be so cheesy if it's, you know, if there's not some adult supervision on it. I mean, literally someone came back from one of these things and it was like golf balls all around the office with people trying to figure out how to make the golf balls work. And I guess
the only thing I have feedback for that is the only time I've ever seen a real cheesy one was a lady who was giving a presentation. She put a little Harry doll up there. This is Harry, going to help me remember to say something later. She went on with the presentation, packed up Harry, and left. It wasn't very long for everybody wondering, when's Harry going to remind her to say something? You know, what was that? It was a distraction. What happens is when you get people coming back, is when you get people pushing back on props, what you're doing, what not you are, but they're normally transferring their fears of looking stupid onto the technique. And the reality is, what do you think the worst thing about it? What do you think the best thing about a prop is?
Simplifies.
Simplifies, and it
sticks.
It's memorable. You will remember it. The worst thing about a prop, it's memorable if it's bad. I use props all the time. Never have I have poured this slush powder out on a conference room table of an executive officer in Atlanta, and he was so thrilled. He thought it was so great. He said, "Don't worry, I'll have somebody come clean it up." You know, it's the idea, it's the effort of doing something different. Now, the fact they're working with golf balls and stuff is they're trying to create, they're being, as a group, something that they can all use, which we can help with that. But the reality is, if you want to be remembered, you will use a prop or something of the techniques that do that. But I just want you to understand it. When you get those people come back and they say, "Oh, that's so stupid, that's cheesy, I'd never do that."
No, I think they were just applying it in a weird way.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it might be you, but it's okay. If you think that this is cheesy, it's a part of you that's wired to think, "I'm not going to do that." But I had a guy one time from Siemens, big guy, said, "I'm never going to use props, they're stupid." I was like, okay, there's plenty here. He was a big guy and I'm not so big, so it was pretty easy to get around. And what he did later, the next day, he goes, "You guys don't understand. It's a setup just like this." He was trying to convince his folks in this workshop. He says, "You don't understand. Everybody in the United States rides on Siemens switching equipment. Everybody." And they all just started pointing at him and laughing. And he says, "What?" He said, "You just used a prop." He said, "No, I didn't." "Yes, you did." See, to him, props, Lego, and things like that were cheesy. But a glass of water and some trays to show about how everybody rides on the Siemens switches was okay. Folks, props are anything that help you simplify the complex. Yes?
You know what I think salespeople, especially in, hope there's no used car salesman in here or not, but, if you're in business-to-business sales, you got to remember you're still selling something. You are a salesperson, and the prospect on the other side of the table knows that you're selling them something. So don't feel that that's bad or, you know, that's wrong.